But it was a lovely session, wasn't it? They played with enormous enthusiasm, and so our group of musicians responded very well to that, and it sounded amazing.
Yeah. And I've heard that now in the earlier segment we spoke about how some of your students kept in touch with the Sri Lankan students here. Did you do the same, or did you make new friends here in Sri Lanka?
I've made lots of new friends actually. There was a big group of them that contacted us on Facebook beforehand.
I see.
Before we came out. So as we entered the first symphony rehearsal yesterday, we were greeted by a lot of familiar faces.
Oh, that's nice.
It was nice.
I think social networking has really helped, because we had more of an idea of what we were coming to do, and the level people are at. So we've been able to really think about what we could give that would be the most appropriate.
And in terms of training and giving back to the people here in Sri Lanka, what are you really focusing on sort of giving across to them during this trip?
Well, we've got a very extensive outreach program for this whole week, absolutely every day through this week, starting from yesterday. We are visiting several different schools, and I would say we're focusing on sharing, really, rather above all else. Yes, they are very interested to hear us play and perform, and the level to which these folks play is a level above and beyond what most of the students here have experienced so far. So that's one dimension of it. But when we work with them, the focus is very much on exploring the music really together. Yes, we take opportunities to talk about techniques of our instruments and purely playing matters, which is valuable, and I think I'm sure you'd agree, you learn an awful lot from actually talking about what you do yourselves and showing and helping other people progress with it.
It's also very much about seeing what you can make yourselves, because I mean often in the workshops we'll write a little piece, we'll come up with something together, and it's really interesting to hear other people's ideas. And it's two-way learning really, because you get people presenting ideas to you and you think, oh, that's interesting, I've never really thought of that before, and you do exactly the same to them. So
And now, Oren, you're going to play for us right after this segment. Tell us what's the piece that you're going to play for us.
Well, it's actually just me improvising, because cajon repertoire is almost non-existent.
So Adam, I think you have it a bit easier than Oren then.
So basically it's me just making it up really.
I see. I'm sure we'll look forward to it as well, because the level that you guys are playing at is something that's not something many of our viewers even would not have experienced. But what would you really take back from this experience in Sri Lanka, besides the spicy food?
Yes.
Spicy food.
Oren looks like he's had an experience with that then.
Not good with spice. Not good with spice.
But besides the spice,
I think there's so much we can take back from it. I mean, obviously it's such a life experience mainly, and it's really nice to experience another culture, especially when you're experience it in such depth. You're really sort of going into it and really taking apart and experiencing the real insides of a culture, because music is really fundamental to most cultures, and it is fundamental to Sri Lankan culture.
Of course.
And we are exploring it in a way and really taking it apart, so we're getting to learn it really, really well. So we're going to take back with us a really inside knowledge of Sri Lankan culture, and I think it will make us better people, as cliche as that sounds.
Of course, that doesn't sound cliche at all, but that is the truth of it, isn't it? And that is what you will be taking back with you.
We will be taking back just certainly personally, just memories of an enormously welcoming and friendly society. Literally, without exception, every single place we've been, and I've no doubt it's going to be every single place we go during the coming days, we've been greeted and welcomed with such friendliness, hospitality and kindness, and we appreciate that beyond measure, and I will certainly take that back above almost anything else.
That's great. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for being with us on the show. Nick, Adam, as well as Oren. Now, Oren is going to play a piece for you on the cajon right after this segment, so we're going to go to that right now, but thank you so much for staying with us here on this segment of Good Morning Sri Lanka. We'll be back with more. Welcome back to the show. Good morning, Sri Lanka. Now, before the break, we left you with the music of the Commonwealth Festival Orchestra, and that concert is going to be happening today at the Nelumpokuna Mahinda Rajapaksa Theatre, and it's going to be a great show, I'm sure. And I think we've learned a lot from all the details and the expertise that the musicians who were on the show earlier shared. But speaking about Commonwealth, when it comes to youth, it is very important to nurture the future generation of the country. And since it is a Friday, we have with us our resident expert on childcare, and she is Arundhati Sivagurunathan. Morning, Arundhati.
Good morning.
Had your cup of coffee yet?
Yes, I did.
So that perks you up in the morning, I'm sure. But it's lovely to have you back on the show. So it's a Friday, which means we'll be discussing an issue that pertains to children and their welfare. But today we will be dealing with quite a sensitive issue, if I should say, and that is how children deal with the divorce or the separation of their parents. And this is something that we see increasingly in our society, and I think that it's time that someone speaks out and says this is what a child goes through, because most people might be ignorant of in their own personal conflicts that there are other people suffering as well. But let's speak about how in your opinion parents usually deal with divorce or separation.
As you said, this is a very touchy subject, right? So this is one of the most painful and stressful emotional journey an adult or a child will go through. So what we need to keep in mind is that we need to sustain stability and give the child a lot of reassurance about this situation, right?
Yes.
So this divorce is emotional, but how can I say, emotional period, which is basically it goes through acute period. Acute period is where the parents decide to divorce, right? So once the parents decide to divorce, the first thing that they need to say is to the children, right? So the moment this is said to the children, the first thing that comes into the child mind is that I'm losing my family, right? Because in the child's mind it's a nuclear family, and a nuclear family is the mother, father, yourself and your sisters or brothers, right? So in this situation a parent needs to be very careful about how they reassure the child that you're not going to lose your family. Right? So they call it now the denuclear family, right? More positively, the nuclear family to the denuclear family.
But still a family.
Still a family where one parent is not in the picture, right? So the second stage is they call it the transitional stage, right? The transitional stage is the parent is going through the divorce legal. So this is the very crucial part, because here you need to be careful as a parent not to bring out your disputes and make it a child's problem, because you know parents really sometimes go overboard when they handle these disputes. So the third and the final stage with divorce emotional stress is post-divorce, right? So post-divorce is the parents have completed their divorce, right? But this is the area where the child really gets stressed out, because there's so many changes they might adapt to, like for example even the place they live. Right, the environment will change. So here the parents should be really reassuring the child, right? Okay, like adults do change, their relationships change, but my relationship with you as a parent is never going to change, right? You're divorcing your spouse, but you can't divorce your children.
Of course. And that's a fine line there, that
very fine line.
Parents should make sure that the child is reassured at the end of the day, that the parents will be there for the child at least. And when you speak about how children react in different ways. They may either throw temper tantrums, or they may withdraw completely into themselves. So however they react, how should the parents deal with each of those situations, the different types of symptoms that a child shows during a divorce?
But the first thing you need to understand, the most difficult part is to a child is to change. Right?
Yes.
Change of the environment. So you need to get them back to normal life, the normal routine, the normal expectations of a child, right? Try to get them back on that routine fast as you